So yeah, you should have maybe saved that get lost, not for our dragon, but for our 3 blind mice. And he's just passing the turn again. This you absolutely love to see, because now all of these pop off. So create a token of this one, and a token copy of this enchantment, and a token copy of this enchantment. And it's just gonna keep growing. It's like the saying for like actual mice and rats. For every one that you do see, there's 50 that you don't see. So I think one of them eventually did pop off. Now we can read it. So all creatures get an additional +1/+1 and vigilance until the end of the turn, right? So it's not super amazing, but you get to create the map token. And let's just see what's on top. We'll pump up the Restless Anchorage, of course, just because that one turns back into a land. Marang River Regent is an amazing draw because we can bounce 2 things, whatever 2 things you play. And I'm pretty sure we have one of these popping off on the final chapter. So yeah, I think we got the opponent. He is going up to 10. No, never mind. He's not playing the demon. Yeah, it is so surprising to me that this mono black deck doesn't play any new demons. But yeah, opponent GG, too many mice. They're coming for you, and your fake demon deck just could not get across the line. So GG. Hey there, neighbor, and welcome to another MTG Arena Standard video. Today we will be looking at a really competitive Tier 1 deck. Was a request from one of our subscribers, so big shout out to you. And the deck that I'm playing with today, the key card that we'll try and win with and try and showcase a little bit of, is Jeskai Revelation. As Jeskai Revelation. For 7 mana, we get to, at instant speed, return a target spell or permanent to its controller's hand. So it's not a hard counter spell. If the opponent does cast something, you can choose to return that spell back to their hand. But if they have a really big creature on the battlefield that you have to remove for that turn, you can choose to bounce that creature back to their hand. And then Jeskai Revelation deals 4 damage to any target, so you can choose to remove a creature that the opponent controls if it has 4 toughness or less. You can also go up top with that 4 damage and deal 4 damage directly to the opponent's life total. We get to put some bodies on the board in the form of these 2 1/1 white monk creature tokens that have the prowess ability, and then we get to draw 2 cards and we gain 4 life. So really, really nice tempo swing right there. Of course, 7 mana is a lot, especially when we're not ramping at all with this deck, so you will have to work your way up to 7 mana naturally. And of course, in the standard that we're playing with right now, with decks that are able to finish you off on turn 4 somewhat consistently, turn 5 for sure, you definitely need to be able to control the board quite a bit. And the way that we do that is with a few counter spells. The first one being 3 steps ahead. I know it's in the 1 mana slot, but we'll go ahead and drop it off in the 3 mana slot, because for 1 mana, you can go on a spree. You choose 2 additional mana, so the first option right there. So 3 mana total, you can choose to counter a target spell. And then this card, you get a lot of value out of it if you have 5 mana in total, because then you can go for the first option where you counter a target spell, as well as the third option where for an additional 2 mana, you get to draw 2 cards and then discard 1 card right there. So really, really nice counter spell right there. Can also help you draw 2. Which is really nice. And then the other counter spell that we're working with today is the Dispelling Exhale. For 2 mana, we can choose to counter a target spell, but they can resolve it if they pay an additional 2 mana. But oftentimes, you want to cast this kind of in the early game when opponents are trying to play stuff on curve, meaning that if they play a 3-drop with 3 mana available, you can counter that and they can't pay anything extra. But you can also choose to behold a dragon, which to behold the dragon, we choose a dragon we control and reveal that card from our hand to our opponent. And if we do that, then they have to pay an additional 4 mana instead, which oftentimes is just too much extra mana to be paying for spells, even if the game does go into the late game and the opponent has 6, 7, 8 mana available. If they play a 4 mana spell and we behold the dragon, then they'll have to pay 8 mana total, which they just won't have in that example right there. But yeah, those are our 2 counter spells. We also have some removal spells as well, because opponents will definitely be able to resolve some creatures that we'll just have to answer. So Get Lost, one of the best pieces of removal, targeted removal at least, in the colors of white. At instant speed, we can destroy a creature, enchantment, or planeswalker that the opponent controls. They do get to create 2 map tokens, but being able to remove a key threat is just really, really important. Another 2 mana, not direct kill spell, is Lightning Helix for 1 red and 1 white mana. Lightning Helix deals 3 damage to any target. So again, you can go up top, deal 3 damage to the opponent's life total, but you can also deal 3 damage to a creature that they control. And then what's nice about Lightning Helix is we gain 3 life as well, so it gives us a little bit of longevity. And then finally, we do have a mass board wipe in the form of Ultima for 5 mana, destroy all artifacts and all creatures, and then end the turn. Destroying all artifacts, this will help you so much against the Simulacrum Synthesizer deck if you ever do come up against it. But then also being able to just end the turn instantly, you might think that that sounds like a downside, but what that essentially means is that there are no death triggers from any of the creatures that the opponent might control. And there are definitely some decks that want their creatures to die, and they get some extra bonuses from it, like the Sephiroth Sacrifice deck, for instance. The Vengeful Blood Witch, of course, whenever a creature dies, will drain you for 1 damage for each creature that died. A lot of their creatures leave behind these tokens as well. Ultima just basically negates all of that as well. So really nice board wipe right there. And then speaking of the graveyard, people are running some graveyard strategies for sure. So that is why we're playing 2 copies of Ghost Vacuum. This actual Jeskai Revelations deck, it is a tier 1 deck. They are playing with some copies of Rest in Peace, which is just, I think, the best piece of graveyard hate right now. It basically says the graveyard does not exist. All cards that would go into the graveyard just go into the exile zone instead. But I do want to use our graveyard a little bit, so I had to throw in a little bit of my own flavor into this Jeskai deck as well. And that is where our dragons come into play. So I mentioned Dispelling Exhale. You can behold the dragon. We're playing with the Marang River Regent. Look at this cute little dragon. For 6 mana, you get a 6 power, 7 toughness flying dragon. When he enters, you get to return 2 non-land permanents back to its controller's hand. So we could choose to bounce something of ours. I don't know how relevant that will be, but you can also choose to bounce 2 creatures that the opponent controls. You could choose to bounce a planeswalker and an enchantment that they might control. Anyways, really good dragon right there. He also has the instant speed Omen spell side, Coil and Catch. For 4 mana, you get to draw 3 cards and then discard 1 card right there. So really good dragon. But then the one where I'm adding my own flavor to the deck is with Shiko, Paragon of the Way, for 5 mana, 2 generic, and then the Jeskai colors, so 1 blue, 1 red, and 1 white. We get a legendary Spirit Dragon. He has flying and vigilance. And when Shiko enters, we get to exile a card with mana value 3 or less from our graveyard, and then we can cast that spell without paying its mana cost, and it becomes a token in addition to whatever it was. And the one card that we're trying to meme a little bit with today is 3 Blind Mice. As you can see, 3 mana right there. For whatever reason, all of my white like enchantment sagas are glitched. But Chapter 1 says create a 1/1 mouse creature token. And then Chapter 2 and Chapter 3 say make a copy of a token that we control. Most of the time when you play 3 Blind Mice, the only token that you will control is the mouse token. And then the final chapter, Chapter 4, says put a +1 counter on every creature we control. It might be every token we control, and it gains vigilance until the end of the turn. But think about that combo with Shiko. Return a card with mana value 3 or less from the graveyard back to the battlefield. We're choosing to return 3 Blind Mice, but that card is a token in addition to whatever it was, so an enchantment. So this will be a token enchantment. So then Chapter 2 and 3, we can just choose to make another copy of 3 Blind Mice, and you can just do that turn after turn after turn. So every turn you're creating a token copy of 3 Blind Mice. That enchantment enters, and it gets to pump out a mouse token. So we will just forever be able to pump out mice tokens when we eventually get that combo to pop off. So that's why some of these draw cards, like 3 Steps Ahead, where you draw and then discard, the Marang River Regent, draw 3 and then discard a card, you wouldn't mind dropping off 3 Blind Mice. Even for 3 mana, you wouldn't mind playing it just outright as an enchantment right away, and then eventually when Chapter 4 pops off, this will go into the graveyard. So that's how you can eventually bring it back with Shiko. So yeah, that's kind of the deck that we're working with today. So yeah, let's just jump into some games and see how the deck does. All right, guys, we get to go first. honestly, I think this is a little bit too much of an expensive hand. I mean, the Jeskai Revelation, you really want to draw it much later in the game, so we will have to take a mulligan right there, as unfortunate as that is. But this hand is looking a lot better. I guess we'll drop off 1 Lightning Helix. So we'll keep 6, throw back 1 Lightning Helix, and then Multiversal Passage is coming down on red. Don't need to shock it in. And, I mean, if we are up against a mono-red aggro deck, then our kill spells will be pretty nice. We'll go ahead and pass the turn. If he's a scout, he becomes a human. Do we take 2 damage right now? Nah, I guess not. We'll go ahead and remove Kellen. So we gain 3 life right there. Opponent plays an artifact and a bolt wave to deal 3 damage to us. So that essentially didn't really do anything for him. Surveil land is really nice. 4, we will have 5 then. But yeah, I guess we'll keep it. And we'll keep our Get Lost available. Go ahead and pop this little mole right there. Guess he's a groundhog. Nova Hellkite, that one's getting warped in, and it deals 1 damage to a creature, which we don't have. We'll go ahead, pass 2 attack steps, and then we will go ahead and blow up the Nova Hellkite, so it actually doesn't go to the warp zone. Which is pretty nice for us. We already knew we were drawing that land, so next turn we can play Shiko, and then we'll be able to exile a non-land card with mana value 3 or less. Will probably be Lightning Helix. We are down to 13 already. Don't really know how that happened because that did go really quickly. But yeah, here comes Shiko. And here is Lightning Helix. Go ahead and blow up this creature right here. Gain 3 life ourselves. And now we have a Vigilance 4/5 Dragon. What does this one say? At the beginning of each combat, if you've cast 2 or more spells this turn, this enchantment becomes a 3/3 Monk. Discard a card. Oh, discard your hand, sacrifice this enchantment, then draw 2 cards. So 2, 4. We will be up to 6 mana with this land. So 1 more land, if we can find it, we can play the Jeskai Revelation, which will be quite nice. We did see... I haven't seen any... I mean, that's fine. We're definitely not going to have our Shiko die right now. Ultima, also nice draw, but... Big smack for 4 damage. Go ahead and end the turn. Harmonize. Is this instant? No, that's a sorcery. So if he wants to play that right now, he will have to do that right away. Taking another 6 damage. That I don't think we can afford to do, so we'll go ahead and block this one. And then we'll just go ahead, Meticulous Archive. Amazing draw for us. 3 Blind Mice, we'll throw it in the graveyard because that's eventually where we want it. And then Ultima, just get to instantly end the turn. Or end the turn. Not that there's anything we could do with 1 mana. That creature doesn't have haste. We have a Multiversal Passage that can come down. I guess we have all of our colors, so this one can enter tapped. Go ahead and pass the turn. And here is... Do we just take 1 damage this turn? 2 damage to any target? Yeah, I'm honestly going to hold on to Jeskai Revelation. Okay, now we can fire it off. So, well, he can't just recast this one. Nah, we'll do it now, yeah. We'll return this to his hand. I know he'll just be able to recast it because he does have 4 mana, but blow that one up, draw 2 cards, gain 4 life, and we get to create these monk tokens. A Dispelling Exhale, not really what we want because the opponent does have a decent amount of, well, no, he only has 4 lands. He really doesn't have that much mana. We'll attack with 1 of the monk tokens. and end the turn. We do have Lightning Helix available. We're both kind of in top deck mode. This guy has no card draw to an extent. I mean, that one can draw him a few cards. And let's just go ahead and blow this creature up right away. Don't need to be taking 1 damage right there. And we gain 3 life, so we're back up to 11. And yeah, this mono red aggro deck, it's getting kind of into the late game. I mean, we have 9 mana available. And yeah, opponent scoops it up. Deal 2 damage to any target. We could choose to counter that one, and he does have enough to pay for the 2, but that would give all of our monks prowess, so he would go up to 3 toughness, and this thing's only dealing 2 damage to us. So yeah, made it. Got there in the end. GG. All right, guys, opponent goes first, and you know what? I will keep this hand. Get some Surveil action on turn 1. We'll need a double white source eventually if we want to play Ultima, but Consult the Star Charts can help us dig for some answers. I will keep that land. And then we do have a Dispelling Exhale. Looks like we are up against a Azorius control gamer. So this could definitely be a slog. So yeah, buckle up, guys, because it's going to be a game. Okay, not Azorius. He's also Jeskai, so might be the exact same deck as us. Shiko is a nice draw. Go ahead and end the turn. And let's see what the opponent wants to do. And we see black all of a sudden. I still think he's the Jeskai deck, for sure. Could fire off Consult the Star Charts, but he might have a counterspell of his own. And, I mean, yeah, are you guys not entertained? Turn 4, no one has done anything yet. Some top-tier magic happening right here. And you know what I'm going to do? We are going to go for a Consult the Star Charts. We're not going to kick it. We're just going to pay the 2. 3 Blind Mice is a great pickup. I'll take that one. And then we can play a land, and I will get down 3 Blind Mice. Part of me hopes he counters this. He didn't counter it. That's too bad, but I mean, it eventually will go into the graveyard. So that is fine by me. We're going to go ahead and end the turn. We do have Dispelling Exhale available to us. We can even behold one of our dragons. Stock up is really nice. Get to create a token of that little mouse right there. And honestly, I'm just going to fire off a stock up. I'm not even sure this guy's playing Magic, guys. He's just trying to get his daily land challenge done to play like 30 lands or something. All right, let's think about this. We don't have any more lands, so I think taking a Thundering Falls will be pretty nice. And honestly, I will take a 3 steps ahead. And then we actually haven't played a land for turns, so we can go ahead and drop this one down. So really nice that we hit our land right there. And so we have 6 mana available. Yeah, I think I will keep it. That will be land number 7. We can go ahead and punch in for 1. And then end the turn. Opponent might fire something off on our turn right here. It is a get lost, and I mean, I'm fine with 3 Blind Mice being in the graveyard. So 100% we let that one go. And then let's see, the next spell can't be countered. We need 2 mana for that. And then we would have 1, 2, 3, 4. We'd only have 4 lands left. So if this one came in untapped, we could fire off a Shiko. But alas, we cannot do that. So let's go ahead and get some Surveil action going. Yeah, honestly, I'm fine with lands right now. And then we need 5 mana available, so we can crack this map token. And then we'll actually be drawing that land. And then we can punch in for 2 damage right now. Opponent might have a Lightning Helix or something like that. I'm pretty sure he is playing the exact same Jeskai deck as us, just not with the Shiko tech. He's probably playing the net deck version, which is fine. Yeah, consult the star charts. 2. We would still have 3 mana available. No way I'm going to let you dig 6 cards deep. We'll go ahead and behold a Shiko. So go ahead and pay 4. Pay the tax, buddy. Could have his own counterspell. He could have his own counterspell. But the Jeskai, the net deck version, is playing No More Lies, which you need 3 mana to pay for, which we could pay for. So, yeah. And now, I mean, the only thing I'm worried about is Get Lost, because that could destroy the token. So we will want quite a bit of mana open. Lightning Helix is a nice draw right there. So we could fire off Shiko, and then we would have 3 steps ahead available. Let's attack first. Usually that's a better plan of action. He might want to burn a Lightning Helix or something like that. And then I think I will play a Shiko. And then does the opponent let us resolve this one? Opponent's thinking about it. No More Lies. We have to pay 3, which we can do. He is looking at our graveyard. He's like, what spell is he going to get back? He does let that go, so we will bring back 3 Blind Mice. It comes back as a token copy. So we will play this one. Get to cast it for free, get to create the mouse token, and we will go ahead and end the turn. Let's see, opponent, what do you do? What do you do? Oh, he doesn't realize it, guys. You absolutely love to see this. You can take our Shiko. You can take our Shiko for sure. You just have 4 cards in hand. You did go for a Consult the Star Charts earlier. That's 2 Get Lost that you're down. Inevitable Defeat, I think, can remove 3 Blind Mice. And that spell can't be countered, so we do have to worry about that. And fingers crossed for this turn that he doesn't remove it. Yeah, that will just end the turn immediately, destroy all artifacts and creatures. So that is really nice. Your turn is over. It's our turn. And guys, so it begins. Create a token of that one. We'll go ahead and play Thundering Falls. Let's go ahead and see what's on top. I will keep that on top for sure. Opponent has 3 mana to work with. We have 7 mana actually, so we can choose to counter his next spell, either with Jeskai Revelation or 3 steps ahead. So yeah, I think the opponent is in a little bit of trouble. And I mean, yeah, if you're just passing back to our turn, I think we're definitely in the driver's seat. We have so many counter spells available, and we're just creating way too many copies of these 3 Blind Mice. 3 Blind Mice is now 4 Blind Mice, so opponent, you're going to have to do something eventually. You're going to have to do something eventually, my friend. And it's going to be hard because we have 3 counter spells waiting for you. Bap. Big smack for 1 damage. Opponent is down to 14. So yeah, you should have maybe saved that Get Lost, not for our dragon, but for our 3 Blind Mice. And he's just passing the turn again. This you absolutely love to see because now all of these pop off. So create a token of this one, and a token copy of this enchantment, and a token copy of this enchantment. And it's just going to keep growing. It's like the saying for like actual mice and rats. For every one that you do see, there's 50 that you don't see. So I think one of them eventually did pop off. Now we can read it. So all creatures get an additional +1/+1 and vigilance until the end of the turn, right? So it's not super amazing, but yeah, you're going to play Lightning Helix. Deals 2 damage to each creature. That will wipe the board. Do we go ahead and counter this one right now? I think we do. We'll go ahead and reveal Shiko. Are you going to pay the 4? That is quite a bit. And then we still have 7 mana available, so we could play our own Jeskai Revelation. This spell costs 1 less to counter target spell. All right, let's go with 3 steps ahead. We're going to draw 2. We're going to counter this spell right here. So now, yeah, now we're just fighting over the stack. Does the opponent have another counter spell? They honestly might. They honestly might. No more lies. So, all right, opponent did kind of win that one, but I think we did get a lot of counter spells out of his hand. And again, I don't really care if these mice token die because we're just going to make a copy of all of these next turn. So, and yeah, opponent just with 3 cards in hand. I know you really don't have that much going for you. Used a few counter spells right there. Used 1 fire magic. And I mean, yeah, we have 5 of these popping off next turn. So if you have 1 get lost, yeah, go ahead and remove 1 of them. He has his own Jeskai Revelation, so there it is. He does get to create the monk tokens, draw 2 cards, but yeah, that's really not going to be saving you too much, my friend. I'm not scared of your monk tokens, and yeah, guys, we do it all the time. Keep your backhand strong. We see whose Jeskai's Revelation deck is a lot better. Bap! Get him out of here. GG. All right, guys, we get to go first. Lots of card draw, so I'm not going to say no to that. Ultima on top. I'll keep it for now. We don't know what we're playing up against. Could be Yuna. That's what this guy looks like. Could also be a... Well, I guess this one didn't have to be white, but whatever. Could also be a landfall deck where we will want a lot of board wipes then. I think it is a Yuna deck. It's 100% a Yuna deck confirmed, so we're going to need to find our Ghost Vacuum. We will need to find our Ghost Vacuum. A ghost, as the Canadians say. So we will for sure go with a Consult the Star Charts. I'm not too scared about your little elf right there. Consult the Star Charts, and I'll take a Lightning Helix for right now. And I guess we'll go ahead and play the Thundering Falls. Another Consult the Star Charts can help us look pretty deep, so I will keep that one. And then honestly, do we blow up the elf right now? He did bin a forest, so I think he has another land in hand, most likely. So, and he did. So I'm glad I didn't go after the elf. He's probably going to play Summon Fenrir. Well, now I do wish I went after the elf. Might as well just do it now. And then Multiversal Passage. We do need double white for Ultima, but we have a Plains right here. We have double red and double blue, so this one can just come in as the blue source. And then we will go with a stock up, let the opponent know we are shields down. Ghost Vacuum, absolutely amazing. And we'll take a Jeskai Revelation because we are working our way up to 7 mana. Opponent has no enchantments in the graveyard just yet, and he doesn't even have 5 mana available to him. Yuna does cost 5 mana, so he goes and names Human, so we actually won't be able to counter Yuna. Goes with Esper Origins. And yeah, I guess next turn we go for a Ghost Vacuum, and then we can go for a kicked Consult the Star Charts. Gain 2 life, and you get to draw a card. It is the Dredger's Insight, and opponent does punch us for 4, which is quite a bit. And then next turn, we'd be taking 8 damage. Yikes. 2, 4, 5. Marang River Regent. We need 6 mana for that. I still think we go for this. We go for Ghost Vacuum, and then we'll go for a kicked Consult the Star Charts. And then we probably have to go with Ultima. Opponent does get to add a bunch of mana. No enchantments. Well, he does. No, that's not an enchantment, right? I don't know if that's an enchantment or not. So we'll just take it out right away. So Yuna actually can't get anything. And then next turn will be a really nice consult the star charts. He does get some life gain for that, but again, I'm not too worried about that because we'll eventually be able to just grind the opponent out. That is what this deck is really good at. Down to 8, which does kind of suck for us. Yuna, you get to bring nothing back. That one ticks down, so we go for a kicked consult the star charts. And Shiko is a really good draw. 3 steps ahead, I guess so, because we already have one Marang River Regent. So 2, 4, that will be 6. So yeah, right now we do honestly have to go for Ultima. Oh, that does get rid of our own piece of enchantment removal, so... Oh, no. Okay, luckily no Yuna yet. I mean, we can't even counter Yuna. And the Overlord comes online. Dredger's Insight. Nothing crazy in the graveyard yet. Could shock that one in. Could shock that one in. And then what do we do? Marang River Regent to bounce these two. We don't have anything good in the graveyard for Shiko to bring back. I still think we do it though. And I don't want the opponent attacking into us. That one's going to leave next turn. We would gain 4 life. I guess we do let the opponent attack. And then now we go for Jeskai Revelation. But he's just going to play it again. Yeah, so I guess well, I mean, he'd always have the mana anyway. Do gain 4 life, which is pretty nice. He still gets to create those tokens. 2, 4, 6. And yeah, he still has just 7 mana just to play the Overlord right away. We had no counterspell available, so that sucks for us. He does have 4 of these flying tokens right now. We did find another Ghost Vacuum, but part of me kind of wants to save that one. And then we would have 2 mana available. Yeah, so we're going to go with the Marang River Regent. And then we'll go ahead and return these 2. Then I don't want to get Ghost Vacuum down just yet. We'll go ahead and attack with these. And I hope he doesn't play a Yuna. Doesn't really have anything good in the graveyard. Opponent's drawn more cards than us. That's kind of crazy. I guess he's milled quite a few cards as well. The opponent does go to attack steps, so we'll definitely block one of them. So we're taking 4 damage. That is quite a bit. So we're down to 6. Come on, play your Overlord. We know you want to. And when it's in the graveyard, you probably don't even care anyway. We'll go with the Dispelling Exhale on that one. And we don't even need to behold a dragon. These guys get prowess. Not that that really matters too much. Another 3 steps ahead is pretty nice. So I will go ahead and play a Ghost Vacuum. And then I will honestly go for 1 3 steps ahead. Yeah, because we haven't drawn. We're just going to draw 2 cards. Our monks get some more prowess. Man. I guess we'll drop off 1 exhale. We'll go ahead and play this one. We do have 5 mana available. And then we will attack with these 2, 6. End the turn. And then let's see what the opponent wants to play. Could be a Yuna, but we do have Ghost Vacuum available. Yeah, we can't even counter that one, which is absolutely terrible. But whatever he chooses, we can at least take it with Ghost Vacuum, so I'm not too worried about that. That one, I guess we will go ahead and counter right now. And we can't even use 3 steps ahead because we need Oh no, this is just tap it. So yeah, we'll go with 3 steps ahead. Counter target spell, and then draw 2. So our monks get some prowess. How have we not found one of our 3 blind mice at this point? That's kind of crazy. Ooh, opponent doesn't even attack in. And then, yeah, with Yuna, what are you choosing to get back? Dredger's Insight, because you know that we'll take your Summon Knights of Round. Lightning Helix is pretty nice, but at the same time, that doesn't really do anything for us. If we play Shiko, we get a 3 mana or less card back. Yeah, honestly, nothing's really helping us out too much right now, so I think I will attack with these 2 monks. Maybe he'll block one of them with Yuna, and then we could hit her with the Lightning Helix. That would be pretty nice. Oh, absolutely baited. Well, I shouldn't speak too soon. Yeah, absolutely baited from the opponent, because our monk token grows up to 2 power, and Yuna goes down to just 2 toughness. So that is a trade that I am super happy to make all day, every day. Opponent didn't attack in last time with his little moths. He goes with the Overlord, and you already know we're just going to counter that one. Don't need to show him that we have another dragon. And then you just have 1 mana to work with. And it's our turn. Before we end the turn, though, I will happily take your Summon Knights of Round from you. You do gain 1 life for that. Good for you, buddy. It's our turn. I know that we can actually exile Ghost Vacuum. I do want a few more of his creatures down there first, so I'm actually just going to transform this one. And then I will attack with these 2, keep the Marang River Regent back to block. We still have 6 mana, so that's pretty nice. Oh, he is choosing to block, so he's losing some of his creatures. The map token, I'll go ahead and pump up the Marang River Regent. It's just a land that you absolutely hate to see for us. Summon Bahamut. That I will happily take from you as well, my friend. So our counter spells are absolutely saving us right now. And yeah, opponent has had too much. I'm honestly kind of happy about that because we are running out of gas. I mean, I don't know what we're drawing. We don't really have any card draw. I guess I could play Shiko to pull back a Consult the Star Charts. We would be able to look 10 cards deep. I'm not sure if we'd be able to kick it or not. I guess I'd be willing to do that to try it out for you guys. Stock up would be another good option. Look at the top 5. But I think for sure we'd go with a Consult the Star Charts, look 10 cards deep. Honestly, maybe hope to find a Jeskai Revelation. And then it's still the opponent's turn. So with our Ghost Vacuum, for sure we would take his Summon Bahamut. And then I think he's already down 2 Yunas. We could eventually exile the Ghost Vacuum and play all the creatures from underneath. So we would get a Summon Knights of Round, which would be really good. We would get a Summon Bahamut, and eventually we would take his Overlord as well. And I guess if we did play Shiko next turn, we could attack with our Marang River Regent. That's 6 damage. He's at 17 lives, so that is a 3-turn clock right there. So yeah, it got a little bit scary. A little bit unfortunate that our Ultima does get rid of our own artifacts as well. But I mean, hey, it was a close game, and I would say we actually pulled it back as well because we were behind for a little bit, so GG. All right, guys, opponent goes first. I'll try this hand. We'll get down the Thundering Falls on turn 1. Sacred Foundry, that will be a 4th land drop, so I think we keep it. Maze Mind Tome. Not 100% sure what he's playing. Whenever I see a colorless spell like that, I do think of Ugin. So I think I will shock this one in just so we can keep open a counter spell if need be. Not sure this guy's doing anything with the graveyard just yet, so I don't think we need to play our Ghost Vacuum. See a Plains. Target opponent reveals their hand. You exile a card. Nah. We're going to go ahead and counter that one, buddy. You don't need to take a look at our hand. And then I guess we'll just go with a stock up next turn. Shiko is also really nice. I think we'll take a 3 steps ahead. I don't think we need a Day of Judgment yet. We have one more land, so that will be land number 4. We do have another stock up, which we could go for next turn. So I think I'll take the Marang River Regent. Opponent with Ketramos, so he might honestly exile our graveyard pretty soon, which is pretty annoying. Day of Judgment is useless against a creature like that. We don't actually have a pretty clean way of answering Ketramos, so let's go with stock up. And I guess we'll take a Dispelling Exhale. We're only going to have 1 mana available to us. I guess I will take Jeskai Revelation, and then we can go ahead and Surveil. I will keep a land, because that will be land number 5, and we have to drop off a card. I guess at this point we can get rid of... I'm going to risk it. I'm going to get rid of Ghost Vacuum. I don't think he's trying to do anything with the graveyard. We have to exile a card from our hand. Guess we'll get rid of the Dispelling Exhale. So we can at least use Jeskai Revelation to bounce the Ketramos back to their hand. Does this guy can't do anything, so I think it's just his Maze Mind Tome that's holding up priority, and it is. He's gonna gain 4 life. Ketramos gets to draw him a card as well. So we will keep open our 3 steps ahead. Can use that to counter a spell, and then go ahead and draw 2 and discard a card. Kind of hope we can find a... 3 Blind Mice. Man, it took me forever to think of the card name. But yeah, we'll go ahead and counter that one. They do have a lot of... discard spells, which are pretty annoying. Exile another card from our hand. This guy is really just playing with all of the most annoying things possible. All right, we're gonna go with 2, 4. That is 4 mana right there. I guess we don't need to shock that one in. So we'll go with this one. And I think I'll go with the Catch and Coil side of Marang River Regent. This guy probably has some more, you know, discard and exile type of shenanigans that he wants to do. Like that one. Exile our graveyard. So Ketramos will be able to attack, which is a little bit unfortunate. But again, I'm not too worried about that creature. So 6 damage, that is quite a bit. And it is going into our turn, so let's go with the Catch and Coil. Still no 3 Blind Mice. That's kind of crazy since we're nearly halfway through our deck. Day of Judgment is kind of nice, but I think what we're going to do is going to go with a Jeskai Revelation. So end the turn. Opponent is probably going to attack, so we will bounce this one, deal 4 damage to this one, and then we can... I don't think we need a block. 1 damage isn't too worrisome. And then are you just spending all your mana to play Ketramos again? Because then we could go with the Marang River Regent to bounce him. It's Deadly Cover-Up. He's probably going to take our Jeskai Revelation. That is pretty annoying. So what do we need? We need to get a 3 Blind Mice in our graveyard, and then we can play Shiko. So I guess we use the Catch and Coil side again. We'll definitely go with the Catch and Coil. Opponent's probably going to play Ketramos, and now we actually can't remove him from the graveyard. That is get rid of a non-creature spell. I mean, he's probably going to get rid of our Dispelling Exhale, so we'll go ahead and behold the dragon that you already see anyway. So are you going to pay an additional 4 extra mana? You are. Wow, that is kind of crazy. I don't think he can get rid of Marang, River Regent. This is non-creature, so it's either Day of Judgment or our Lightning Helix. You do choose Lightning Helix, and yeah, you only have 1 mana to work with, so let's go with a nice draw 3. There it is. Discard 3 Blind Mice, and it's going into our turn, and I will happily play a Shiko, and we can bring back 3 Blind Mice, and yeah, unless this guy has a Get Lost, I think we'll be all right. We even have 4 mana available, so we've gotten rid of 2 Dispelling Exhales. I think we might have another one, so I hope he doesn't. He can pay the 4 mana anyway. There is Ketramos. Again, that creature will just be able to attack turn after turn after turn. Okay, yeah, so this one we can't kick it. We have to find our Dispelling Exhale, which we didn't. Oh, that's what I was worried about. I guess we take another 3 Blind Mice. Do we have a way of dropping it off? I don't think so. So yeah, I was worried about that. All right, well, it is going into our turn. I'll go with a Stock Up. I guess we'll take these 2, and then let's see. If we play the Marang River Regent, that is just dump off 2 cards. I guess this one can come in. Honestly, I'm honestly not even thinking straight, guys. We'll play a 3 Blind Mice. Yeah, we do have 4 mana, so we can play the River Regent on the Catch and Coil side. That also says exile target artifact. Oh my goodness. This guy with his exiling the graveyard type of stuff is pretty annoying. He probably has a kill spell, so we'll let him have this. We'll go ahead and take 4 damage right there. That is quite a bit. Create 2. Look at the top 2. All right, let's go with the Catch and Coil. Discard a card. We'll get rid of Ghost Vacuum. It's kind of pointless here.
Dreamer and sculptor, partners in the art of battle.
All right, so opponent has just 2 mana to work with. We can bounce both these creatures next turn. Or not both these creatures. Yeah, Soul Guide Lantern. So I don't think we're ever going to be able to pull off the combo with 3 Blind Mice again, because he can just sacrifice this and then exile our graveyard. But opponent is down to 24. Day of Judgment doesn't really help us. We'll create a token of this little mouse right here. And then here comes the Marang River Regent, and we for sure will bounce these 2 back to your hand. We do have a counter spell available. Actually, I will. Do I shock this one in? I think I will. I know our life total is getting really, really low. I know our life total is getting really, really low, but I mean, we have these 2 dragons, so. And we do have a 3 steps ahead that can be a hard counter spell. Yeah, so we're just gonna counter this one. You can stop playing Ketramos, thank you very much. And then we still have a Dispelling Exhale for your other one. We can go ahead and behold a dragon. So get that creature out of my sights. Don't want to see him. Exile a creature we control. Well, that's a pretty easy choice for me. And yeah, you're all tapped out. You just draw a land, which definitely not what we want. But yeah, we'll go ahead and make a copy of that mouse right there, and then we can punch in for 12 damage. So opponent's down to 6. We're also at 6. He has this Ashiok, which doesn't produce any flyers, 1 unknown card in hand, and a card draw for turn. So I guess 2 card draw. He can't spend 1, get rid of that one. So I think we got him. Honestly, kind of annoying that he had so much enchantment removal and graveyard hate, so we couldn't really pull off our combo, but I think we got there in the end. He has 3 mana. Those creatures aren't really going to help you.
Go and drink deep of sorrow.
And yeah, unless you have a way of removing both these creatures. I think all of our tokens get +1 as well, so yeah, that is 100%, I think GG. Yeah, he's even drawing a card, so you only have 2 mana to work with. It has to be a kill spell. All of our creatures get +1, which is pretty nice. So yeah, even if these 2 block these 2 mice tokens, and he has another kill spell for the Marang River Regent, that's still Shiko getting through for 5, and this 1 additional token getting through for 2. So yeah, GG. Alright guys, opponent gets to go first. I did make a small change to the deck. I did include 4 copies of Day of Judgment, just because when you come up against kind of go wide creature decks, Ultima, having that one be 5 mana is quite a bit, and we only had 2 of them in our deck, so I got rid of 2 Get Losts, and I went up and I got rid of the 2 copies of Ultima, and I just went up 4 copies of Day of Judgment. So yeah, against a deck like this where they do kind of spam just a ton of creatures, Day of Judgment is really nice. Lightning Helix is also going to be really nice. Going to go ahead and be able to blow up the Chocobo. I think I will keep Dispelling Exhale open in case he plays like a Hydra or something like that. It is the crack land, so I guess we have to get rid of the Chocobo right now. Can he actually crack the land? Oh, he has Snakeskin Veil. That is fine. I just noticed that we are kind of missing out quite a few lands. So, are we even going to be able to survive until turn 4? I don't think so, if I'm being honest, which is just absolutely crazy to think about that. This one... Wait, no, it actually had to be white. Oh my gosh, I'm screwing up so hard. I'm just so tilted right now. Alright, well, kind of need to hope to draw a white source. Plays the Traveling Chocobo. I guess I could have countered that one, but we can at least gain 3 life right now. And opponent has no more lands, so that is at least pretty nice. And yeah, I got punished so hard for not having this one come in on white. We do find the white source right there. So I think we might be able to scrape by the skin of our teeth. It's the Hydra. We're gonna we're wiping the board next turn. So honestly, I think we just let him have this creature. And he can punch in for 6. That's fine. We're down to 4. And we will just go ahead and wipe the board. We do have 5 mana now. Let's hope he doesn't have any more Snakeskin Veils. And the opponent just scoops it up there as well. So, yeah. I kind of bungled that myself as well. I really should have had this one be white, even though this one did come in tap, so we were playing it on turn 5 regardless. But yeah, Day of Judgment, I think 4 copies of it is needed, especially when you're up against just such a creature-heavy deck. So GG. All right, guys. Opponent does get to go first, which is unfortunate, but we do have Day of Judgment and a Lightning Helix. Lightning Helix going to be really nice, unless he is playing the Screaming Nemesis. Definitely don't need another land. We have enough lands right now, and they're all shock lands, which is a little bit unfortunate for us. And I think I will shock this one in. We'll see, though. It's the Hired Claw. That's a pretty annoying creature. This one's white. We can actually have this one come in, and then we do have Lightning Helix available. I think maybe before the opponent goes to attack steps. Let's see what he plays, if he does play anything. It's the Rockface Village. I guess we'll pass right now. Opponent can go to attack steps. And he is going to sink some mana in, so that is actually really nice. Don't think he has a way of giving that one more toughness. So we gain 3 life. Opponent spent 2 mana to essentially do nothing. And we drew a stock up, which is absolutely amazing. Let's think about this. Day of Judgment needs double white, which we have right there. And we'll have it with this one as well. We do need double blue for the Marang River Regent. So let's have that one come in on blue. We'll shock it in so we can play stock up right away. And Shiko is a pretty nice draw. Let's see. This is 3 mana, 4/5. Honestly, I think I will take another stock up. Even though Marang River Regent can draw 3 and discard 2, I still think I'll take a stock up. Because we can go for a stock up next turn. We won't need to shock any of these in. Even though we could shock it in and go with the Catch and Coil. It's another Hired Claw. Does that give a creature haste? It does. Okay, so I guess change of plan. I think we might just wipe the board right now. Because we are taking quite a bit of damage. Need to shock in another land. I'm guessing coming on white. But yeah, hopefully he doesn't have too many hasty creatures. But I mean, this can give a creature haste as well. An opponent just scoops it up. So yeah, too much removal. Honestly, not sure if these are burn spells or anything like that. But I mean, we are... I guess we do have a full grip of cards in hand. And I guess next turn we could have played Shiko and then played a Lightning Helix for free. So yeah, I think we were going to get the opponent. GG. All right, guys, we get to go first. Unfortunately, this is too much of an expensive hand, even though if we do work our way up to 4 mana, Marang River Regent with draw 3 and discard could help out quite a bit. So I'm going to risk it just because we also have Lightning Helix. 3 Blind Mice is a great draw as well, actually. Because if the opponent is mono black, discard. Are you okay? Oh. Then we can drop off 3 Blind Mice. We can also just choose to play it next turn. Or next turn, we'll play it this turn right away. And then we just need to keep hitting some land drops. Opponent's going to remove the little mouse, but I don't really care about that. I don't think mono black has too much in the way of kill spells. I will keep this land. That will be land number 5. 4 toughness is a doozy to have to deal with. Man, duress. I guess it's going to get rid of our Consult the Star Charts. Could look for a creature. Do we just pull a Consult the Star Charts now? I think we will do that. No, I'm not. Let's see what he wants to take. Might honestly take our Jeskai Revelation as well, even though we are a few turns away from casting that one. He does take that one. Interesting, interesting. And does create the little dude. He is playing Unholy Annex. That is super annoying. We'll go ahead and burn this creature right now. And then this land, we don't need to shock it in. So Marang River Regent can be a draw 3 and drop off 2. And then next turn, actually, this one is going to chapter 4. So it will go into the graveyard immediately. And we can play Shiko right away and pull back our 3 Blind Mice. Does he actually take our Shiko? If he does, that might be a little bit of a problem. And, of course, when he starts to play some demons, then that will also be a problem. Even though I know this mono-black version of the Unholy Annex deck, they're not honestly playing too many demons. He does take our Shiko, which you absolutely hate to see. So, honestly, I think we'll go for a kicked Consult the Star Charts. Take 2 damage right there. That's fine. And opponent gets to draw a card and lose 2 life. So they are down to 13. We'll go ahead and kick this one. Look at the top 5. I'll take a Lightning Helix And honestly, I guess another land. Yeah, because we're a little bit too short. All right, well, we'll get back our Shiko next turn. I'll keep a stock up on top. We're going to go ahead and end the turn. I want to save the Lightning Helix to blow up the Deep Cavern Bat at their end step. You have to be kidding me, man, with these stupid mice. All right, well, are you going to take our Marang River Regent, or are you taking Lightning Helix? Kind of hope you take Lightning Helix. Stock up. He does take Lightning Helix. All right, so we're just looking for our board wipe right now. Opponent's going to punch in for 4 damage, which is quite a bit. But again, you're going to be losing 2 life and drawing a card. I guess you're gaining quite a bit of life as well. All right, Marang River Regent, can you please find either a board wipe for us? Ooh, that is rough to see that. Okay, Shiko found it anyway, so do we go for it right now? I think we do. We still have a counterspell available. So yeah, Shiko can go ahead and pull back 3 blind mice. And I don't think this guy has any enchantment removal in the colors of mono black. I can think of maybe Feed the Swarm being the only thing that I can think of. I'm sure there's maybe 1 or 2 others, but I think we'll be okay. He has 5 mana to work with. He attacks with everyone. That could be a board wipe. So we'll get rid of that one, and we'll block that one right there. Nowhere to run. That only gives -3, so that's fine. I don't care about that, because our guy still isn't dying. And are you just going to flash in another one? Well, sorry, buddy. And you know what we can do? You know, this is really funny. It says, behold the dragon you control. Where is the behold thing? To behold the dragon, choose a dragon you control. So we can actually reveal this one, and then he still has to pay 4. So we get to keep our Shiko. You lose your bat. You get drained for 2. We get to create a token of that one, and then we'll go for a stock up. Jeskai Revelation is a great draw, and honestly, I'll take the Restless Anchorage. We'll go ahead and play that one, and then Shiko can go ahead and attack since he does have Vigilance. And then we do have 7 mana, so we can bounce the demon token that this guy is going to create this turn. And that is 2 nowhere to runs that this guy is down. Honestly, we need to find one of our board wipes as well. All right, opponent, you can do that. That's fine by me. Draw a card, lose 1 life. I am fine with all of this. Are you going to wipe the board? Are you going to unlock your ritual chamber? This is a pretty grindy game. I think we'll eventually be able to get there with the 3 blind mice, because each turn they'll just start creating more and more and more copies. Quarcy Revenant. That one does have Death Touch, so I think we'll blow that one up with the Lightning Helix. And again, yeah, this new mono black deck, they play no demons. They just love the Unholy Annex for the card draw, and I'm for sure going to go ahead and remove this one. Meticulous Archive, that absolutely sucks for us. But, I mean, the 3 blind mice are starting to pop off. Do get some Surveil action. Definitely don't need another land on top, and we'll keep Jeskai Revelation. Could transform the Restless Anchorage, but then we won't have enough for Jeskai Revelation, so we'll just do it like this. Bat, big smack. Opponent's down to 6, and you will be losing another 2 life from your Unholy Annex. So I think well, yeah, I think we got the opponent, because I don't think he'll have too many flyers. You have got to be kidding me. We can let the bat hit the battlefield. We can also return it to his hand. He still has 5 mana to work with. Could also return the Unholy Annex back to this guy's hand. Deal 4 damage to the Preacher. Let's do it like that, yeah. We'll go ahead and return that one. Pop that one for 4 damage. Oh, we do get to draw 2 cards, so I guess he does get to take this 3 Blind Mice. Opponent does get to take that 3 Blind Mice from us. And do you just play the Ritual Chamber side to create the demon? Opponent attacks with the bat. That a little bit strange. All those creatures have lifelink, which is pretty annoying. Not sure why the opponent attacked with the bat. He's going for a deadly cover-up. I guess he's going to get rid of our Shiko. But we do get our 3 Blind Mice back. Did he get rid? Yeah, he does take Shiko. We draw a... Man, our draws have been absolutely terrible this game. But, again, I don't think the opponent can deal with all these mice tokens that are being generated. I mean, we know he's playing mass board wipe, but that's one of them down. You still need a few more of those to go. We'll definitely play the Ghost Vacuum. And I will just exile the Quarcy Revenant right away. Don't want you playing with that one. And then we can play this one right here. And then we can still transform this one and punch in for 2. Can play the Thundering Falls. Definitely don't need another Ghost Vacuum game. Thank you very much. Do get to create the map token. And let's just see what's on top. We'll pump up the Restless Anchorage, of course, just because that one turns back to a land. Marang River Region is an amazing draw because we can bounce 2 things, whatever 2 things you play. And I'm pretty sure we have one of these popping off on the final chapter. So yeah, I think we got the opponent. He is going up to 10. No, never mind. He's not playing the demon. Yeah, it is so surprising to me that this mono black deck doesn't play any new demons. But yeah, opponent GG, too many mice. They're coming for you, and your fake demon deck just could not get across the line. So GG. Hey there, neighbor, and welcome to the post-game wrap. Today we looked at a meta deck. I did tune it up a little tiny bit. It's not the net deck version, the one that is performing really, really well in Best of 1 Standard right now. But yeah, the card that we're looking at today is the Jeskai Revelation, so it is kind of a control-y deck. I didn't lean super, super hard into the hardcore counter spells and that type of stuff, just because I personally don't find that the most enjoyable type of Magic to play, and I think a few of the games ended up being like that, where it's, you know, just drop a land, pass, while holding up your counter spells. But that is what this deck is really good at, is grinding the opponent out, pulling it into the late game where you can just have so much card draw and so much value that is where you start to win the game by outvaluing your opponents that way. But yeah, I tried to spice it up a little tiny bit by playing with Shiko, Paragon of the Way. This Spirit Dragon says you may return a card of mana value 3 or less from the graveyard back to the battlefield. That card becomes a token copy of whatever the 3 mana or less card, if it is a permanent. So yeah, we hope to pull back 3 Blind Mice. This enchantment comes down. You, chapter 1, create the mouse token, and then chapter 2 and 3, you make a copy of a token that you control. And if you pull back 3 Blind Mice with Shiko, this enchantment itself is a token. So then you can start to copy that one. You make a token of it. So then you have 2 3 Blind Mice on the battlefield. The next turn, each of them can copy each other, so then you'll have 4 3 Blind Mice on the battlefield, and so on and so on. So even if the opponent does have mass board wipes and they remove these mice tokens, they cannot do that turn after turn after turn. Really, the way that you have to deal with this is either by exiling it from the graveyard right away so that Shiko can't copy it, or even if Shiko does copy it, he first makes the 1 copy of it, so it is just one of them on the battlefield. If the opponent does have a little bit of enchantment removal, they can choose to remove it right away, right then and there. So that's kind of the fun way to win the game, and I think we pulled it off twice today, maybe 3 times, I can't remember. But yeah, the other way that you can win with this deck are, of course, just with the dragons themselves. Shiko, you know, 4 power, 5 toughness. He does have vigilance, so you can use him as a blocker, which is really nice, but he has flying, so he usually gets over the top of most creatures. And if the opponent does have a few flyers, not sure they're going to be stronger than 4 toughness. You know, you can think of the Deep Cavern Bat, the Healer's Pigeon. There are, of course, some angels that can grow to be pretty powerful, but yeah, usually 4 toughness, if you're attacking in for a few turns, is enough to finish off the opponent. Same with the Marang River Regent. This one has 6 power, 7 toughness, so this one really does swing in for a huge chunk of damage. And then, of course, with Jeskai Revelation, really nice tempo swing. When you are able to cast this spell, you can deal 4 damage to any target on the board or to the opponent's life total as well. And you can return a spell that they're casting for the turn back to their hand, or if there is a powerful creature on the battlefield, you can choose to return that one to their hand as well. And you get to create the monk tokens with prowess. You gain 4 life and draw 2 cards. But yeah, 4 damage to the opponent's life total is another way to drain them out a little bit. And same with Lightning Helix. Of course, in the early game, you might want to burn the opponent's creatures with this card, but if it does go into the late game, then you can definitely go after their life total as well. So yeah, that's the deck that we're running with, this Jeskai Revelation control deck. It is a really, really good deck right now. You do have to be a bit patient with it. 3 colors is kind of hard to work with sometimes in Standard. So I know that the actual Jeskai Revelation deck that's playing quite a few other cards than my version right now as well, and we actually started with that as well, is 2 copies of Ultima. That's just destroy all creatures and artifacts, so it's really good against the Simulacrum Synthesizer deck. I just haven't really run into the Simulacrum Synthesizer deck lately, which I'm happy about because that deck, no one really enjoys playing against it. And what I was running into a decent amount of times, I think 2 games in a row, was mono red aggro, both of them going first, and usually by turn 4 with the Ultima in your hand, they can usually deal enough damage to you that they can just finish you off with their burn spells when eventually they do draw them. So Ultima being 5 mana, I thought was a little bit too much, so I got rid of the 2 copies of Ultima, and we were originally playing in the 2 mana slot as well, Get Lost. That's a targeted removal spell. I got rid of both those copies as well, and I just went up 4 copies of Day of Judgment. Just, you know, destroy all creatures is a really nice effect, and 4 mana is cheap enough that, you know, if you are going second against an aggro deck, usually you still hopefully will have enough life left over so that just, you know, 2 burn spells aren't able to finish you off as well. So after adding Day of Judgment, I liked how the deck performed a lot better as well. And yeah, that was the meta deck with my own kind of flavor and yeah, inspiration put into it with Shiko and the 3 blind mice. So yeah, if you guys made it this far into the video, please consider subscribing. It does help me out tremendously. And you guys know I'm going to end it like I always end it. I love you guys. Peace out.